What's going on, guys? You guys good?
I'm good.
Welcome to your favorite and amazing entertainment show on your airwaves. This is Unbothered, brought to you by Offrun and Personal with your amazing trio.
Okay.
My name is Heavy guys.
Hey guys, I'm Jasmine Roberts.
Hi guys, my name is Madichi.
So a whole lot has been happening and we're going to give you the lowdown. We have gist for you. We have stories for you. What again do we have?
We have amebos.
We have gossip.
We have gossips for you.
We have everything.
But to find out what we have for you, you have to stay with us. We'll be right back after the show break. It is still Fuze Unbothered, brought to you by Offrun and Personal.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
I'm still Malta. Be your best.
Fuze Unbothered.
Welcome back, guys. All right, so let's start with the love story, the lovey-dovey.
So guys, unexpected.
Love in the air.
We have a wedding to plan. I don't understand.
We have a wedding to plan. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this excitement is for... Take it easy, guys. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy.
I'm just pumped.
All right? This excitement is for the easies.
You know, okay. The long-awaited wedding.
So,
the long-awaited.
Wow, they talk things that
we have to say long-awaited. Finally, Mr. Easy proposed to Tammy or Tedola.
Long time girlfriend.
She's long. I mean, they've been dating for like how long now?
5 years-ish.
5 years. That's interesting. I think it was a time we had a discussion that how long do you think people should date before the actual proposal?
Yes.
But people were not really angry at Mr. Easy for taking that long.
Because I mean, not everybody. If like for me, I feel date you for 10 years. If I never did ready to marry, I'm not gonna marry you. That's the truth. But if I'm ready, once I'm ready, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, it depends on how ready I am at that point. I don't think there's a rule book to these things. There's no exact time frame.
Yeah.
Just be sure that you're ready to actually be married, not just for the glam.
So let me give you a few details of what we saw. The video we saw that was posted on their Instagram page. Mr. Easy went down. He went down on his knees.
Ooh,
by a waterfront, somewhere in the UK, out of Nigeria.
Not be mall.
Yes,
it's not mall.
They didn't do it in ShopRite.
It's private engagement.
Now you have to say yes. Nobody was screaming, say yes, say yes.
They didn't do it in any mall that's all the screaming.
It looked very
it actually looked very beautiful. And I mean, there's something with guys making proposals at waterfronts. It's like, is it that you say yes or I throw you inside this water?
That's not true.
It's you.
But then again, I mean, congratulations to the Easies. But now, this is a big question. This is a very big question. What else?
On Twitter. You have to ask whose surname.
I don't understand. Wait.
I saw that question.
Wait, I don't understand.
And it busted my brain. I'm like, what's wrong with
why should it be an issue? If you're married to a guy, you automatically take the surname.
You don't understand.
Why? Because she's an $10.
Sorry,
But I feel like she's going to still bear her father's name because of.
She might just merge. You just add his own to her.
If she wants.
She already has a brand with.
We already know, regardless. We already know she's Otedola's daughter.
Me, I just want to put this out there.
Will this be easy?
Copy. I'm here.
They'll still have their brand name.
I don't mind. I will take the surname.
It's not you. She'd not ask you. She asked her brother-in-law and her sister to help her find someone. Apparently, she was the one that even like match made them together.
Yeah, she introduced them together. She introduced them together. Big shout out to Tammy Otedola. Big shout out to Mr. Easy.
Wish you guys all the very best.
We wish you guys all the. Just call me, Sha. Let's talk about the wedding. Hit me up.
That's right.
Hit me up. I can MC your wedding for a token in dollars.
Okay.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. and the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
I'm still Malta. Be your best.
Fuze Unbothered.
All right, guys. Not so good news. Something very, very, very tragic happened over the weekend. Social media influencer Okpeyemi Karim, popularly known as Always on Key, was crushed to death by a truck. Like it's very really sad.
To
Like,
be honest,
almost every day we hear one bad news or the other, and it's quite unfortunate. I mean, Nigeria.
Nigeria always just happens to
the
people.
bad roads, construction every day. Like so many things go on the road, and you still see truck drivers with a narrow road. They still pass it, and it's just so sad.
No, the question I asked my brother when I saw the story was, I thought there was a time where they said trucks are not allowed during the day anymore.
Yes, just
at night. Then what happened? Why
people flout orders
so
and when there's no.
I've not heard that they arrested the truck driver yet, because the guy is not dead. He's actually not dead. Why? Well, I didn't hear that he's dead. Do you understand? So why haven't they arrested him? Do you understand?
I mean, most of the time it is very disheartening that a whole lot of trailer drivers, truck drivers cause a lot of havoc, on the road, and they do not get prosecuted.
And it's not the first time.
No
just
penalty.
This is kind of a popular person. That's why we're hearing this one.
This is not the first. This is not the second time.
I mean,
this morning I actually almost got hit by a trailer while we were driving.
I mean, sometimes it goes as bad as they are driving trailers that are not roadworthy.
Yes.
You get me? One tire is bad.
Yes, or the brake has a problem.
The balance of the truck is tilting,
yes. Oh my
it's
God.
not well balanced. You can see that this happens, and there's almost no penalty for either the company that owns this trucks and trailers, or even the drivers that flout traffic rules and all that. I mean, you see them boldly, without remorse, flouting traffic rules, and nothing is still being done to these guys because they feel like they will do this and get away with it because of the umbrella of the company
they're working under. For. Yes.
Yeah, you get me. So I don't know what is going to happen, but something has to be done to stop this thing. We can't keep allowing this kind of mishap to continue.
Yeah, and it's so sad because Okpeyemi was really loved.
He was. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, everybody actually had amazing things to say about him. To be honest,
yeah.
I just pray that that his family, find the fortitude to bear this loss.
From all of us here at Fuze Unbothered, we say rest in peace, and we pray that the family would definitely find peace very soon to bear the loss and solace. We'll be right back after the short commercial break. Stay with us. It's still Fuze Unbothered.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
I'm still Malta. Be your best.
Fuze Unbothered.
Welcome back, guys. It's Fuze Unbothered, brought to you by Upfront and Pest. And if you're just joining, you've missed a little bit, but you can still tag along. Anyway, before going on the short break, we had a sad story to give you guys, and we have another sad story now. So gospel artist Osinachi Nwachukwu, who has this popular song Ekweme, passed away over the weekend, and
really sad.
It's been really sad because initially the story was she died of throat cancer.
Yeah, we thought it was a medical complication from cancer,
and then eventually, a lot of truth were coming out. That it was
people were coming out and saying a whole lot of stuff that were unknown to the public.
Yes, that she was a victim of domestic violence, and apparently the one that happened that made her be unconscious rather than being in coma for weeks.
Yeah, she was on life support for about 5 weeks.
We didn't even know that it was this terrible.
I think her husband kicked her in the chest.
That's crazy.
And they said she had blood clot in her chest and whatnot, and
Ouch.
you know. But the man has been arrested now, though, and it's just been really sad. It's been really sad.
It's been quite sad because this was a lady who actually blessed a lot of people, especially with the song Ekweme. I remember then I could relate to it. I mean, whenever you listen to the song Ekweme, you can
even if you're not even Igbo,
because it was such a very, very powerful song, and to see someone as anointed as that just go like that, it's quite unfortunate.
It's really sad.
And people came out to say, okay, they knew she was going through all that. And my mind, I'm like, why did you guys speak up?
Yes.
Why now?
Why did he have to? Why did he have to get?
We know you can't do so much, but I mean,
I was about saying that. But do you agree that you really can't advise a person on what to do? They will make their own decisions by themselves. But what if they tried? I mean, her sister came out and said they actually tried talking to her. At some point, she stopped telling them stuff about what was going on in the family, and then the husband as well tried to make her not constantly visit the family anymore. You get me?
I think your husband was actually a minister.
Yeah, there's actually a limit to what they could have done. They tried by advising, praying for her, hoping she was gonna have sense and listen.
I don't want to really talk about the victim. I want to talk about the man himself. That would. Yes. I don't know why some men would find it easy to say they love someone or they're in love with someone and inflict so much pain on that person physically at that.
Any kind of pain.
It only shows how what's it called? I'm trying to look for the word now.
They have shows how weak you are. Yes, they are not.
It shows more weakness than strength. Because like it is only a very, very weak man that would lay his hands on a woman, especially your wife. Why? And I mean, these things don't happen one time. They build up.
Yes, it's in stages. And the more you let it happen, the more it upgrades.
Yes, it goes. It keeps going and it keeps going and it
never gets better.
I just want to put this out there. If there's any woman out there going through any form of domestic violence, even if it's just a slap,
it's okay,
a knock on the head, trust me, it doesn't end there.
Even the shout. Because most times it starts from that shouting and calling you names before it gets to the hitting part.
It doesn't end there.
That tweet of someone coming out to say, okay, that was her cross to carry.
A pastor actually. Like, a pastor came out to say that. I saw
well, my own pastor said that if there is any man or if there's any woman that's going through that, they should call him. Not organized men.
I love your
pastor. And people come out and say we shouldn't leave. Men as cars. Men as cars.
Come on, man.
So what of life? Do we buy life in the market?
Trust
now
me.
She's gone.
But do you also agree that sadly, we are saying she should have left. But do you also agree that if she had left the marriage, she might have lost.
That was her fear.
Yes, that was her fear. Like the society was going to drag her.
No, I don't think. No. I do not agree totally.
If she comes out to tell her story,
do you know why I do not agree totally? I feel like if she had come out when it was at its peak level, trust me, before she got that medical, it would have been happening back to back. It would have been so bad if she had said some things and she came out to say, she's not, probably separation.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't even need to be outrightly
not even divorced. That's
divorce.
She didn't want to.
I mean, for her own sanity.
She kept praying. She said they said she kept praying and believing. I mean, as Christians,
she wasn't even looking happy. If you ask me,
we need to actually we need to actually do better. Churches need to actually do, not just churches, like religious, like bodies actually need to do better in teaching the young ones. See, there's nothing wrong with walking away.
Life is better.
It's okay.
I'm telling you, like
the covenant of life is far superior to the covenant of marriage.
Yes.
Yo, you heard that?
You just have
Madishi 2022.
I love that. I actually love that.
Madishi 2022. That's all about that story. Now we have another good news.
You know.
We're still love in the air. Ladies and gentlemen. Award-winning actor, Nollywood actress, TV personality, model, director, producer,
everything,
philanthropist,
business,
fine babe.
Oh my God,
Rita Dominic.
You know,
we'll be getting married later this month, right?
Yes. I'm super excited.
I mean, we saw the video where she was celebrating our bridal shower, and Jasmine also saw something.
I saw a beautiful belly. The belly looked so pretty.
The belly was looking like,
I didn't say anything, but it's pretty.
It was looking like she had eaten well.
She don't belly food.
Like she had feel so well
Done day.
that you can't hide
But you
it.
see the results
Maybe in a few months.
You understand?
Less than say less
pretty.
than a year.
We're
we'll see.
super
I
happy
see
for
the
you,
pretty
Dominic.
belly.
Wish you
I mean-
all the very best. May
Like,
God
I'm
bless
super
your
excited,
home.
to be honest.
And yeah, so that's what you can take on Fuse Unbothered today. Until
You know.
next time, stay fused.
Stay fused, guys.
Upfront and personal, world-class business, world-class consultants.